Okay, I thought I would make my vegan bread and show how I do it. Now, no judgments. I've never filmed this, and I've only been making this, I think, 6 weeks now. So this is, I think, my 5th time to make it, and it keeps setting up better each time. But for anyone vegan out there, gluten-free, eggless, dairy-free, I thought you might appreciate this. And if you like 1940s decor, you might appreciate it. So anything modern you see, like the dishwasher, just ignore it. My curtains over there that I had hanging, this Velcro is not strong. So, you get your bowls. I have my batter bowl, and I have my, what I make my faux eggs in. And I have my recipe up here, so I'm going to keep walking away, because you want to start with your dry ingredients. So it's 2.5 cups of flour. Oh, and so I hide all my modern stuff just because, I don't know, it helps me kind of pretend my kitchen is older than it really is. And maybe most people use a dough hook, but I use this is the only one thing I have. And it works just fine because this is more of a batter than a thick bread. So now that I've double check, now I'll plug it in. It makes it really, really easy. So refer to your recipe, 2.5 cups of flour. You're probably not supposed to dump your canister in, but I do it anyway. It's worked out fine. So I've leveled it. My 2nd cup. And so I have adapted this recipe a few times to make it set up a little better, because gluten-free is difficult. And even though this has xanthan gum in it, I add 1 extra tablespoon of flour. And when I make the faux eggs, I go a little bit less in the water, which you'll see that in a minute. So I have my flour. I like to put that other set that's sitting on the counter, I put that on after I've mixed in the other things. So we have baking powder and xanthan gum. I pre-measured that. Baking powder, xanthan gum. Yes, I can raise this up. Just since it's plugged in, be careful of your whisker, beater, whatever it's called. Let's see. We have the flour, the xanthan gum, the baking powder, and then the last thing there is to do is the yeast. So the yeast is rapid rise. Make sure it hasn't expired. I pre-measured, it was a little packet. It measures out perfectly. Let's see if I have the measurement though. It's 2 1/4 teaspoons, which is one of those little packets. So that is all in the bowl. You give it a little stir around. Don't forget your other piece of flour that goes on top. I would have remembered. It's just a gentle little mixing of your dry things. I do it with my measuring dull knife. Okay. lid back onto the flour. So next you're going to mix the liquids, but I could pause and do my faux eggs. This recipe calls for 3 eggs. Am I correct? Where is it? Yep. It says 3 egg whites, but I do 3 faux eggs, which is my arrowroot powder. I mean, why am I showing you that lid? I'm reusing an old canister. And the measurements to make your faux egg is, to make 1 egg, it's 1 tablespoon arrowroot powder. And I need 3, so I'm going to go ahead and get my 3. Miss Guppy, you gotta wait over there. I think I'm blocking her. So that's the arrowroot powder. Put that back out of the way. And then it would be, get your ounce, 2 ounces per faux egg. So you'd think that would be 6 ounces for this recipe. But because this recipe can make it a little doughy in the center, I've backed it down to 4.5 ounces. Hope that makes sense. 4.5 ounces of water. There we go. I'll need that for the honey. And get your little whisk thingy. Mine's from All Clad, so it's a little weird looking. That's okay. And the third ingredient is olive oil. So for 1 egg, it's 2 ounces of water, 1 tablespoon of your arrowroot powder, 1 tablespoon olive oil. Since I'm making 3, I've got to do 3. 1. And I go a little bit lower than the measuring top because this recipe has oil in it. Put that there. So then you give this a stir. Clean up as you go if you want. Oh, and I forgot to say the most important thing, if you have long hair, tie your hair back. I just think it's respectful when you make food for other people. Tie your hair back and make sure your hands are clean. That's just what I was taught. So you're just mixing the 3 together. It doesn't look real pretty, but sure does taste great. I'm so glad I found this. I did try one, what I call faux egg in the grocery store, and I can't remember what it was made of anymore, but it was really gross, and it made me bloat and feel uncomfortable. This doesn't do anything weird for me. You gotta try what works for you. So see, it kind of looks eggy, but it will, it'll need to be stirred again. So, because I'm weird, let me just wash out some things real fast. Don't like a messy area when I cook. I'm trying to hurry for you all, but if it were me, I'd be slower and clean as I go. Okay. And I would like If you have cute 40s towels, you'll need a towel to cover it at some point. So maybe don't grab your cutest. Maybe grab one that's already has an old coffee stain. Not a big deal, it's just what I do. So you can do a quick kick off of the flour on there. Okay, that's ready for the honey. Okay, I'll set this to the side. It's for when I'm going to cover the rising dough. Let me look at the recipe. So we have our dry in there. The next thing they want you to do is spray your 9x5 bread pan and preheat to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And you want to make sure your rack is in the middle of your oven. And when you put this into the oven, it needs to be horizontal. So don't look. Horrible cabinet. I should have a video on cleaning your cabinets. Okay, so here's my bread pan, and I just spray with this olive oil one, and I spray it well. I really should put paper in there, and I may decide to this time because it does stick. It only sticks on the bottom, I should say. Okay, so you've got that ready. So now we're going to work on the damp, or I guess they're called wet ingredients. Oh, I don't know where to put this right now. Okay, over here. So next we sprayed it, we preheated. In a moment I'm going to have to turn up the air cleaner, but for now I'm trying to keep it quiet for you. So we've added the dry. I've already mixed it. Now we're going to add the oil, the honey, apple cider vinegar, and warm water. So I'm going to start warming up the water. You don't want it hot, I'm just getting it warm for now because mine is really slow. So your oil is 1/4 a cup of oil. Right there. One-fourth a cup, and I do that first, the oil first, which helps the honey not stick to the side, I guess you say. We have our oil. Next is going to be honey. It's 1/4 a cup of honey, and then 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. I could do that first if I wanted. And I've realized, since I had to take the correct measurement out of the cabinet, I guess I'm blind. I did not bring out the correct measurement before. So, if you catch your mistake, quickly fix it. That's just kind of how I am. I mess things up a lot. So since I only did half a teaspoon, I'm going to do the other half because it wanted 1 teaspoon. I'm double checking, looking at my recipe. Yep, 1/2, another 1/2 of the xanthan gum. But you know what? I make mistakes all the time. Learn from your mistakes. Don't give up. And you're supposed to be able to be flexible with recipes anyway. I mean, if you go vegan or go gluten-free, you have to play around with recipes all the time. So now, we're getting close there. 1/4 cup of honey. Okay. That to the side. And I did the apple cider vinegar. That in there. I did the oil. I did the apple cider vinegar. And here's the honey. I haven't found that had to be perfect. Now I think the next thing is warm water. Okay. It calls for 1.5 cups warm water. When you make my faux eggs, I've backed it up to 1 cup warm water. And I don't have a thermometer, so I turn on the water. I know that's too hot. So just kind of pretend you want the temperature, kind of do the baby bottle trick, test it on your elbow. I hear too hot will hurt the yeast. Is that scientific? No. That's just how I do it. So where's our 1 cup? Where is our, oh, I gotta go higher. Okay. Yep, so here's our 1 cup. And you put it on low. So there's my low. Checking the recipe. Next, I'll be adding the egg, and you're going to mix it on medium for 1 minute. Well, I thought I needed this, but I don't. So then, you can, I recommend unplugging it if you're going to mess with the machine, because you don't want to chop your hand off, lose a finger. I don't. So it's a little clumping right now, but don't worry. You add the faux egg and it becomes a very workable batter. I just kind of used a knife to cut it out of there right now. And depending on where your what is this thing called? Whatever this is called. Depending on where it stops when you've turned off the machine, it's either easier or more difficult to get this out of here. Because I don't want to drop it all on the floor. Okay, that meant we're preheated. And if you've seen my kitchen video, yes, I got a new stove. The other one was smoking too much. Whatever that meant. And it was only a couple $100, so I got it some money's worth. I wasn't worried. And that was on mega sale. It's worth it to me to keep my asthma down. So now, give your egg one more little stir because they kind of separated again. I'm probably making this whole thing look harder than it really is because it really is not difficult. Compared to some of the recipes I've done since I've gone gluten-free, I mean, they're difficult. And if you'll notice, I'm not using Psyllium Husk because I can't stand the stuff. It makes me very sick. Okay, so now on medium, and here's my pan all greased, but I'm going to attempt to put paper in it this time. Just because the 5 times I've made it, it sticks on the very bottom. And it's kind of obnoxious.